Hello, ghouls and goblins. Welcome to Slashify. Follow for more horror entertainment daily. Guys, my recent video was my Black Phone 2 non-spoiler review, and this one will be my spoiler review. So warning in advance, there'll be a ton of spoilers in this video ahead. Again, warning for those who haven't seen the film, you have been warned. We're gonna dive deep into the story and how it fully answers every question you may have raised while watching it, even giving ideas on where they could go next with the next film. But let's get right into it, shall we? This film picks up 4 years later after the tragic events of the first film, that being because the first film takes place in 1978 while its sequel takes place in 1982. And guys, can I just say that this film does a great job of making you feel how long it's been, and the change from the 70s feel to the 80s feel, from the clothes to the hairstyles, is so freaking amazing to me. We start off with Finney, played by the talented Mason Thames, who crushes the updated version of this character in the same position the character Robin was in at the start of the first film. Robin being the tough kid of the school who gives 0 Fs and will not tolerate being picked on anymore or bullied after becoming known to others as the only kid in person to take down the grabber. Like, no, seriously, this motherfucker takes down a bully Cobra Kai style on some no mercy shit and then proceeds to ask who's next like some hip hop Harry shit, who was telling him he ain't shit for taking down a killer. Like, come on now. Mason Thames, you killed this shit, and here's hoping they cast you as the next Robin for Batman, brother. I'm rooting for you, and as are all of us, brother. We then see his sister Gwen be the only soft spot he has within him after the events that happened to him. She tells him to stop beating up the kid. He listens, and we are then introduced to a new character, this being Robin's younger brother Ernesto, who instantly becomes a fan favorite of the film, being that he is also introduced to us being a love interest for Finney's younger sister Gwen. Cause come on guys, Finney did tell us that Duran Duran is a date. I mean, I 100% agree with my guy. We then get into some dreamscapes with Gwen, who this film is more focused on this time around more than Finney. We get to enter more of her dreams, and this time it being more lo-fi horror-esque with static and weird, horrifying, unsettling noises and music that show 3 little boys murdered brutally and in horrific ways that are trying to relay a message to her. It seems to us like they are trying to warn her of the grabber's return and that they are trapped in time because the grabber is using their souls and fear to gain his powers to be able to enter others' dreams, that being of course only Gwen in this case. She sees a lot of visions of their mother, who we all had questions about from the first film, only to know that she quote-unquote committed suicide from having dreams just like Gwen and being religious, and the father not believing her or her visions and dreams. I like we got to see more of the father this time around, him doing a lot better and him being on the verge of hitting his 3-year mark of sobriety. The kids seem like they are supportive of him putting down the bottle, and we even get to see that with scenes like Finney telling his dad to not drink when they decide to go to Christian camp that their mother used to work at before meeting their father. They only decide to head there because it seems like the children led them there so they can save not only them but themselves as well. There was even another scene of their father being tempted to drink before he reaches his sobriety 3-year mark, with him seeing an ad for a beer company, but instead he calls in for a favor to be able to help his kids unpile a lane of snow blocking them and potentially dooming them at the accursed Christian camp. Talk about character development, am I right? We see Finney most of the film struggling with his own addiction, this being marijuana from all the PTSD he had to go through. This ain't the Finney like the one we saw risen up the class crush at the end of the first film. Nah, this is a broken man who got his childhood stripped from him. He's full of anger, resentment, and takes his anger out on others. Though the movie more surrounded around his sister, he completely embodies that of someone dealing with PTSD. He is very overprotective of his sister in this film and fears for her life, as he had to fight for his own at one point. He only wants to keep her safe, even if it means he's not okay himself. What I liked as well was not only were the adults able to see the supernatural powers of the grabber, but affected by it as well, and even weren't delirious or delusional like those in the beloved Nightmare on Elm Street films. But just like me and many others, we can't get enough of those Nightmare on Elm Street films. They're just iconic and classic. Unlike those delusional adults in the Nightmare on Elm Street films, I thought that was a beautiful, well done nod, because the parents and adults in those films seemed like they didn't give jack shit about the children dying. No, literally. Our man Jack Sparrow was murked in the first film like fucking Mortal Kombat style. The adults in this film made you really cared for the characters, and I compare it to the likes of the recent Final Destination film, where the good writing made you feel for the characters and you didn't want to see any of them die or not make the final cut. Okay, I lied. Maybe just a couple. No, literally, that was it, because this film, besides the 3 little boys in the dreamscape that were murdered, we only had a total of 2 other kills, that being a literal couple who were so motherfucking annoying. Them being camp counselors who are very religious and ruin the Christian name for people like me who are actually Christians. Christians are not supposed to be how they are portrayed in this film, but I believe that was well done because there are some asshats like them in real life, and I'm sorry for people who had to go through stuff like that growing up. But I want to tell you real quick that Jesus does love you very much. Moving forward, though, we were glad to see them go in such a hilarious way. Other than those two characters, every other character you did not want to see die, and it's because of how good the writing truly was. There was even a beautiful scene between Finney and the camp owner, which saw him smoking marijuana for the 10th time of the film, and not only called his shit boof, but also gave a good message to him of not letting fear overcome you, and to not hide behind the temporary pleasures of this world, but to expose it to light and move forward, knowing that there's some things in this world you can't control, but you can move forward, and there's something greater ahead. He even sees a young Finney in himself, of letting the past be the past and not letting it define who he is. Me personally, I love this, and I want to believe to myself that the owner even smoked that shit weed himself. Because come on people, shit weed is still shit weed at the same time. But all jokes aside, this film had the amazing twist reveal of why they were brought to the camp in the first place. They were brought there because it is revealed that not only did their mother work there, but she worked with the grabber who was called Wild Bill by the other counselors because of how evil he was. It is revealed to the counselors as well as us that he was the grabber and the murderer of those 3 boys, and it being those 3 boys were his first victims ever. It is also revealed to us that Finney and Gwen's mom was onto him because of the dreams their mom passed down to Gwen. Their mom had dreams of a young newspaper boy getting kidnapped by the grabber, and she found out her dreams were right, and she saw the boy in his basement. The grabber ended up catching her in the end and murdering her and bringing her back to their house, where he then posed her body, making it look like a suicide. Like, holy fucking shit, this was an amazing plot reveal. The only power the grabber had, though, was fear in the souls of the 3 children who weren't ever found until they were uncovered at the bottom of the lake at the camp. The grabber, of course, wanted revenge as well because he blames Finney for his own mistake of murdering his own brother, and of course Finney getting his clap back in the first film. The grabber wasn't shown much in this film, which I like because that made him much more scary when he did show up on screen. Ethan Hawke, you're up there among the slasher name now. But since he was delivered to hell by the found children and the children entering heaven along with Gwen and Finney's mom along with other children like Robin, the film makes us wonder where this franchise can possibly go to now. My theory is just like Freddy vs. Jason from 2003 or any other Nightmare on Elm Street films, Freddy only comes back when hysteria and fear comes along, giving him his powers back. We can see the same thing with the grabber, making him solely have power generated from only fear and people remembering his name. We could even see Finney and Gwen have to help their town after moving away from mysterious deaths of children in their sleep. Could we possibly even have it called the Black Phone 3 Dream Grabber? How about the Black Phone 3 The Grabber Warrior? Nah, but in all seriousness, Black Phone 3 Dream Snatcher has a nice ring to it, or even Black Phone 3 The Snatcher of Dreams sounds pretty nice too. This would make sense because of how successful this film did its opening weekend, earning more than its budget back. I'm so excited to have this film reintroduce the idea of a Freddy Krueger-like slasher with its own twist of nobody's safe, not even adults. But it's looking like we will just have to wait and see. I mean, we did even get a hint of Gwen using powers in her sleep like that of Nightmare 3, where the kids use powers in their sleep to defeat Freddy. There was even a kid in a damn wheelchair, and Freddy used his damn disability against him. Like, come on now. Trust me when I say Finney and Gwen do get their clap back before the grabber is brought back to hell. It was brutal, and I loved how powerful the actors made that scene feel. I leave this film with a 9.5 to 10 rating. This film made me realize there's still good horror out there to be discovered and unlocked. The film just answers every question you may have about it, only leaving you wanting more by the end of it. But I want to hear your thoughts and theories down below. Where do you think the next installment can lead into? Do you believe this can lead into a Dream Warriors-like film? Let me know down below, and feel free to go ham on the spoilers down below. I need more people to talk about this fantastic film together. Other than that, I love you guys. All glory goes to Jesus Christ, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care, guys.